Greetings and good morning. Had an interesting conversation the other day about something I'd posted stating my billing statement for trespass that causes me harm. And a gentleman said, well, Derek, you're inviting them to do these things to you. If you're going to put a price on it, you've agreed to be violated. And I thought about it a lot last night. Nobody asks to be violated or trespassed or the rights to be violated, because where my rights stop, your rights begin. It's a lot like a property line, I guess you could say, where my rights, titles, and interests stop, yours begin. And I thought to myself, it's a pretty ignorant statement to make in the 21st century, to allege that by putting a price on a trespass openly invites people to trespass on you. Because the truth of the matter is, they're going to trespass whether or not you put your foot down. But the likelihood of them being aggressive, and I'm talking about anybody, I don't care what profession you're in, man, woman, it doesn't make a difference what your profession is. Letting people know your boundaries is quintessential to staving off anybody that consciously realizes that they could lose everything they've ever worked for in their life by trifling against you. So I'm going to get into this Trezevant thing again, because I keep seeing people post, well, my time is worth $1,400 a minute. And I don't think you guys quite grasp that FRNs are not money. They're instruments of debt, period. So what do we know about the creation of the Federal Reserve note? Well, at one point, $1 was equivalent to 31.103 grams of gold. One FRN note was the same and was equivalent to a $1 piece of gold. That is not the case anymore today, ladies and gentlemen. Your FRN note has lost 98% of its buying power, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know about you, but my rights, they don't depreciate in value. If anything, they appreciate, not depreciate. And for damn certain, one thing is definitely true, that I'm not going to accept anything less than what was awarded in 1984. And the reason for that is back then, people actually went through civics. They didn't have a geography class. They didn't have social studies class. They had civics, ladies and gentlemen, where they learned about their rights. They learned about the Constitution. They learned about true government and how it's truly supposed to operate. And they had some foundational principles back then. It would scare the ever-living shit out of me this day and age to go to a jury trial or a trial by jury. And the reason for it is most people are so ignorant. It's absolutely incredible. You're better off taking your odds with a magistrate than you are with a jury of 12, because most people are so freaking incompetent, it's not even funny. The second the judge says, well, I'll be the one that administers the law around here, and all the jury goes, okay, bah, the sheepdog has spoken, we're going to follow him, bah. It drives me insane to think of that. to think of how many people subject themselves to a trial by jury or jury trial and don't ever realize that the indoctrination is so thick that they don't realize that we, the people, were put in a position to tell the government what is just and what is unjust, what is a law and what is not a law, what we will perceive to be law by conscience and what is not. All right? But we see this day and age where, somebody will be explaining the law to a jury and the judge will interject and say, that I'll be the one that tells the law. They'll make the decision on whether or not you're guilty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the jury was never supposed to have a magistrate, a judge, a chancellor lord over them. Period. Not even supposed to be in the room when you have a trial by jury. They're not even supposed to be in there because your judge, your jury, your executioner is the jury of 12. And the important thing to stress is, ladies and gentlemen, a violation of my rights is a violation of your rights, your future offspring's rights, your grandchildren's rights, because today we set case precedent. We're not putting up with it anymore. So let's look at Trezevant versus the city of Tampa Bay, Florida, September 6, 1984. Trezevant was unlawfully detained for 23 minutes and awarded $25,000. Now, it was appealed, and the appeal was denied. The mathematics involved in this, in 1984, September 6, gold, an ounce of gold closed at $340.50 for a troy ounce. That's 31.103 grams. That's $18.11 a second. All right? That's 18 FRNs and 11 cents a second. But due to the depreciation of the FRN, you would not be able to ascertain the same volume of precious metal Mr. Trezevant would have been able to in that time. Now, if you just hear me out here, this may make some sense to some of you guys. If you believe that your rights or your time is only valued at $1,086.95 FRNs a minute, which is what Trezevant was awarded, I want you to understand the buying power back then of what he was awarded. That's 65,217 FRNs an hour, 1,565,208 FRNs a day for a 24-hour period of unlawful detainment. At the going price of gold in 1984, Trezevant, with his award, would have been able to purchase 73.42 ounces of gold, precious metal, all right, something of substance and value. Now, Article 1, subsection 10, with the Constitution for the United States of America, clearly states, nothing but gold or silver shall be used in the payment of a debt due and owing. Now, let us review the true number for the same violation as of June 10th, 2020. An ounce of gold in 1984, mind you, on September 6th was at $340.50, $340 $340.50 FRN value. June 10th, 2020, the price of gold per ounce is now $1,713.30. That is 5.0317 times the going rate in September 6th, 1984. Now, the jurors valued their rights at that time at $1,086.95 a minute in 1984. If you still believe that your rights, if you could even put a value on them, ladies and gentlemen, just putting this out there, you would be depreciating what the jurors felt was worthy of their time at that current situation, all right? The jurors found their rights to be worth 1,000, or their unlawful detainment per minute at $1,086.95 a minute in FRNs, which would have acquired 73.42 ounces of gold. Rights never decrease in value. However, the FRN does depreciate in value. What is the remedy? A correction mathematically. Let's begin. $1,086.95 multiplied by 5.0317 equals equals $5,469.22 a minute. So for 23 minutes of unlawful detainment is valued at, per the jurors of 1984 in today's FRN notes, considering that we're eliminating the depreciation value, is valued at $125,792.19 for 23 minutes, which today would equal 73.42 ounces of gold. The very same thing that Trezevant was awarded out of Tampa Bay, Florida. It gave him the same. Do you see how I made the numbers? So I am still able to purchase the same amount of precious metal. Why would you settle for anything less, knowing Article 1, Section 10 clearly states that no debt can ever be paid except by way of gold or silver? Now, we know that dissimilar things should not be joined, and similar is not same. But I'll damn sure not take anything less than what Mr. Trezevant would have received at the current going rate. I still want the ability to acquire 73.42 ounces of gold for my 23 minutes on the side of the road. That's $91.15 a second. That's $328,153.56 an hour. And that's $7,875,685.52 a day. Those are the numbers you should be looking at. It calls for critical thinking. Now that's just a broad basis. No rights can ever have a value put on them. Give me liberty or give me death. I think that's pretty clear, right? So when we're repeating ancient cases from back in the day and we're trying to evaluate what value we could place on these things, these rights, these titles, the interest you have, think long and hard before you open your mouth speaking about an instrument of debt that continually depreciates in value. Think long and hard about that, ladies and gentlemen. And if you should ever find yourself on a jury, boy, I hope these words sink deep into your mind. Hear me loud and hear me clear. A violation of anyone else's rights in this great nation and land is a trespass against you and your family. You remember that. If somebody violates you as an agent and agency, they have inadvertently violated me, and I won't stand for it. The rest of you guys out there that participate in these trials by jury, I hope my words fall heavy on your hearts today, because we're all in this together, whether you like it or not. So a violation of your rights affects me greatly, because when they step on the freedoms that we have, they violate us all. Each and every last one of us. When they violate their oath of office to conduct themselves in a manner conducive for tranquility and peace, and instead create insurrection through aggressive behavior, that's a violation of my rights too, ladies and gentlemen. And if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. We've been asleep at the wheel too long. They're not the only ones to blame, ladies and gentlemen. We give blame where blame is due, and we're just as guilty as they are for failing to study the Constitution, for failure to study the Bill of Rights, for failure to study the Articles of Incorporation, for failure to study the Federalist Papers, for failure to study the unum sanctum and truly gain the knowledge necessary to defend oneself, protect their family, and their posterity. So thank you for joining me this morning. I hope this helps you guys out. We got a class coming up Saturday at 11 a.m. If you care to join, we're going to be going over land patents, the importance of a land patent. We'll cover mineral rights, the 11 different land patents that are out there, or patents that are out there and available. What having a land patent called forward in your name means to you and your family, and how to enforce it, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Thank you for your time. Remember, if you will allow them to trespass on you without setting the grounds of what it will cost them, then you have volunteered. You have volunteered. If they'll give me an order, I'll comply peacefully, no problem. But if you order a cheeseburger at Burger King, McDonald's, or anywhere else, what do you have to do? You have to pay for it, right? If you make an order, I'm more than happy to accommodate you. Just know that it comes at a cost. Thanks for joining me this morning. Appreciate your time. Hope you guys are doing very well out there. And we'll see you soon.